Peace, 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 peace. Checking in with you guys. Now, hang around for a moment until somebody gets on. Peace. Who in here with me? What are y'all doing? I know y'all weren't expecting a tarot card reading, but I've been wanting to do these every week for y'all. So here I am. I carved a moment in time and space so that we can get into the dark goddess. So we can get into the dark goddess. You thought of me today? Peace, Anika Skywalker. Yeah. Okay, peace, Janet. Peace, Sirius. SUT 888. Peace, Terica. Peace, what Miss Love and Light. We got both of the moderators up in here. Peace, my Lou. And Anita and Ginger. Y'all so special and sweet and all of those good things. Greetings, sunshine. No matter where you are and what's going on, the dark goddess is here. And this was a divine moment in time. You just so happen to find this. I don't know what we gonna talk about. I don't know what's gonna come up. I'm just here as the channel, as the medium. I just had a really strong connection with spirit today. And you know, I was just like, I wanna use that. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I knew I was supposed to get on here today. And so here I am, and I'm surprised I got so many people. You've been watching season 4 of Sabrina. I've been trying to get into it. I get frustrated with certain scenes, and then I don't be in it no more. But I'm trying to get into it. I think it's the high school thing for me. It's kind of throwing me off because of, you know, my age. Like when Charm came out, I related to, they were older, but yeah, it was relatable. So I don't know, but I'm still trying to get into Sabrina and give it a chance. Yeah. They make sure they let you know that, you know, the show is directed to the younger audience. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I hope y'all been well. We've been focused on shadow, dark shit, shadow, deal with the demons, shadow, face myself, shadow, oh my gosh, I don't like this thing about myself, I want to change it, I'm ashamed of this, shadow, I feel guilty about this, I'm a horrible mother, I'm a terrible sister, just all of the critical, what feels like negative things and experiences. That's what we've been focused on. We're working our way up to the webinar we're going to put together, which is all about shadow work. But after you've made the connection with your galactic signature and you have learned those things about yourself, and hopefully you have went through the 13-day wave spell at this point. If you haven't, it's never too late to do it. This is something that was given by our spirit guides to us to help with this thing called the spiritual awakening. No matter what stage of that you are in, this is going to help you. It is one of those things that takes you so deep within yourself to where you're less distracted and you're able to gain clarity, because you just needed that magnification of self and going within. So we've done that. And that was the whole Phoenix rising from the ashes thing. But you have to be able to experience these parts of yourself that maybe you're not so proud of. And you have to be able to own it. It's yours. It's my shit. It's mine. Whatever it is mine. That is something that I have been creating and putting out. I acknowledge it. I'm okay. I mean, I'm not perfect. It's just another aspect of me, and I'm open to learn from that part of me. And I'm not gonna avoid it, run from it, ignore it, get upset, you know, about it. It's okay. It's okay. I'm imperfectly perfect. So whatever that is, I want to direct this reading tonight on how we can be more whole in that aspect, and how we could be more integrated, and not have to feel like that we have to have a self that we present to the world, a form of self we present to our family, a form of self maybe we present to our friends, not have to feel the burden of having a self presentation always be fitting for the environment, but to be freed from that and liberated from that, and to be liberated from the negative self-critical talk, to where you and your shadow self is like besties. Like, like, yep, I'm an alcoholic on the weekend. I socially drink, but yeah, I'm really like slick. Borderline alcoholic on the weekends. Just, being like, okay, that's a shadow aspect. Okay, I see you. We can work on that. But first you gotta be able to see it. So yeah, so that's what we've been very focused on. And so I felt like, let me know, hit that like, y'all, if this is resonating with you and you also feel like this is something that will be beneficial for you. And my boo thing have got my cards turned all out of the right direction. I've been trying to share more, you know. I can't share my cards. I think he gonna have to get him a dark goddess deck. I don't know if they have a dark god deck, but dark goddess, it's the feminine energy that rules darkness. So it wouldn't even make sense to have a dark god. I don't think. I think the true wisdom comes from that feminine energy, So let's dive into the subconscious of the collective. We are in January 2021, so okay. No need in splitting hairs with that one, whether you're going to go by the Gregorian calendar or the Mayan calendar. Or, we could do all of the hair splitting, but we're not. We're going to get into what's important, which is this present moment right here, what needs to be revealed from the unconscious mind on a collective level. Ashe. Thank you for the donation, Milu Stars. You're so sweet. Praise Hecate. Ashe. Yes. Hecate has been, I took her with us out of town. We had to go. We went to Phoenix, but we had to go to Denver and Vegas in between Phoenix, and we had a long layover for both. And I was like, Hecate, this is 6 planes in 2 days. I'm definitely gonna need some support, So she's just so, the mother part of her is like that grandmama feeling where she's just like, baby, now let me sit you down and tell you how to get through this. And she give you that wisdom and that wit. And then the maiden part of hers, when the youthfulness comes in, and you can be youthful even being an awakened soul. You can have these moments of just youthfulness or playfulness. And then you have the child aspect, which just represents that newness, just being open to have new experiences. And so, yes, I appreciate Hecate so much, because she definitely helped me to get through these last few days. I slept for probably 12 hours. I was so tired. Hold on, y'all. Shadow moment in real time. I hate dropping my cards and having to get up and yeah, but it's all good. I'm back. So do y'all think this is a good topic to be pulling cards for, since y'all here, those of you in the chat and on here with me? And Sabrina, that's amazing. So they went from all hell Lilith to Sabrina. It just shows you that times and different phases of your life, of your life path, of your awakening, it should change from time to time. It shouldn't be the same all the time, So yeah, ashe, ashe. Okay, here we go. Okay, Dark Goddesses, thank you for your guidance. What is something within the subconscious of the collective that some of us, maybe most of us, are not dealing with? What part of the subconscious collective needs our attention for growth to continue to happen, for us to be quickened? What are we not facing? What are we not dealing with? Okay. Arachne, which represents hubris. I'm going to read about this goddess, Arachne. It sounds very webby, like we're not making connections to. We're not making the connections to see the web of our life, of our reality, and we're not facing the hand maybe that we have taken in whatever our reality is right now. That's what this makes me feel like. But I want to read about the mythology of her, and let's just see how this relates. This is going to be interesting. I've never pulled this before for a collective reading. So it says, weave a web of light or dark. The choice is free to make one's mark. Bragging is no fun to hear. Its shadow only throws up fear. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place, blessed be. It says, you have been spinning a web of deceit and have become caught in the hubris that is your life. In truth, it has not been easy for you, and instead of shining your light brightly, you've hidden your gifts and abilities. The problem is the scales have tipped and there is no healthy balance. So now it seems you boast your greatness to anyone who listens. Important to remember that nobody likes to show off. Maybe your bragging and excessive pride could lead you to fall. However, Arachne knows just how you feel. This feels very egoic for me. Like some of you may be like, well, I don't be really bragging, but we're very creative, and the ego, the egoic part of our shadow self can be very braggadocious. Even if it comes in the form of you pointing out something someone else did wrong and how, well, at least I don't be constantly marrying the wrong men. That's kind of a egoic form of bragging. So this could come in a lot of ways, but this just feel like any area where you're allowing the ego to make decisions for you, express itself, and you're not filtering whether or not that's something that's beneficial for you, manifesting your best life, being your higher self. Like, is that the best version of you? Is the moments that your ego show up, is that your highest potential? And I think that we know when it's not our highest potential, but what happens, especially when there are things that you're self-critical about that have caused low self-esteem, or for you to lack confidence, sometimes the ego, can be activated to protect you. Because see, when your heart is really open, and this is why I try to make sure that I talk about my weaknesses and the stuff that me and Ernest struggle with in our relationship. We try to be very transparent, and to make sure that we shine the light on the shadow, because that keeps the ego in check. So, we're in a very narcissistic society, and all of us have been touched by that narcissism in some shape, form, or fashion. And so this is what I feel this is speaking of, that part of us maybe that we don't want to admit to, okay? Or maybe we have not yet been able to really see, because we refuse to see that we do have things about us that is very narcissistic, that's not healthy, that is egoic. Because even low self-esteem and self-loathing, that's being narcissistic, but in a negative direction. So you're not boasting and trying to make yourself seem perfect and right about everything, your life is great. But what you're doing is you're so focused on whatever it is about yourself you don't approve of, that you despise, right? You get so focused, you just ruminate on it, and it turns into self-loathing, where you can't get off of your mind how you should have did it different and what you should have said, or you always make bad decisions, and you just got this loop in your mind over and over and over again, and you begin in a moment of pity, and you get stuck in a moment of sulking, and it's just like you're just stuck in that space. And so in this moment, you're being narcissistic. You're so focused on the flaws of self, you can't see or feel, experience anything else. So even if you're just super, super focused on what you feel like is good about you or better than other people, and then you project that out into the world, this is what a narcissist does. The grandiose is all about me. The whole selfie thing is, all of this was a manifestation of this narcissism. And so I'm saying that just as I got my camera facing this way so I can see myself. But and so what happens is you're being so overly attached to that story. So whether it's the story you're projecting or the story that you deal with within yourself about yourself, this is all a form of narcissism, self-loathing, boasting, excessively being prideful and in your ego. So just wanted to add that in there. So it says, competing in this world is not easy, yet you have done well to promote yourself to the top of haughty superiority. This speaks to all of us. All of us are having to, and this ain't got nothing to do with your sovereignty and knowing that you're divine, but just trying to hold on to that superior projection and just letting go of that. As a society, we're better off. We're better off being like, I'm not trying to express superiority over nobody or nothing, because I'm not even comparing myself to other people. So when you are really embracing your uniqueness, you don't need to feel superior. I am that I am. I just am that I am. I don't need a reason, and I don't need things to make me feel haughty and superior and better than other people. I am what I am, and I'm okay with that. That's going to help us, because then we're living in a world that's more heart-led, and we're able to be vulnerable, be transparent, be naked, be insecure. Whatever it is that you struggle with, we're able to just be and not feel judged for it. I know that this sounds like a fantasy, but we can absolutely create this type of vibrational resonance in the world of releasing judgment. And so I feel like that's what's coming through with this card. But it starts first with you releasing the judgment of yourself, okay? And accepting all of you. And maybe there are parts of your life that you have, it's the web that you weaved. What can you do different to not continue to weave that web if it's not a web that you're proud of? What can I offer in this moment? What can I do in this moment that connects me with where I desire to be? Where I'm in alignment with Source, the Creator, with my higher self. I'm in alignment, with my soul. Just asking yourself that question so that you can begin creating a web that you're proud of, It says, as Arachne looks at you with her super skilled spider sight, only insecurity and self-doubt make an appearance. Your lack of self-confidence is clear to see and is the culprit behind your pomposity. Time to untangle yourself from this sticky web. That's why this is a Dark Goddess shadow deck. This is the Dark Goddess Oracle card, if anybody was interested. Because it really go deep down in there. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, there's some shit that I don't want to see me in any of this. I would like for none of this to resonate. Yet I know, because it's coming through now and I'm being challenged, I know I'm gonna have to deal with it. This week, from this day forward, something is gonna happen. It's gonna connect me back to this moment and be like, you know what? Yep, that was definitely a very ego moment. It was unnecessary. That's not who I want to be, that's not how I want to be perceived. but not even just the perception of others, but that's just not the vibration I want to be in. It's gonna happen. This is gonna unfold itself. Now, here are some different situations that could unfold that reveal to you the wisdom that this card is bringing. So maybe this card showed up because it's time for you to face your fear of spiders, and that may seem like nothing, but it's something because you're facing a fear. So even if it's just, if you see a spider, to not react how you usually react, you know, and no matter what kind of fear, just be like, okay, I see you. I'm not saying you should be killing insects, okay? However you choose to dispose of it, you goddess of your own world, so you got that. But just controlling the emotional reaction that spiders cause, that's self-mastery, you know. And it don't always have to be something big and great that was just very courageous and you know, to deserve your appreciation. Just something as small as that is, I faced my fear of spiders today, and I even called my son and come and kill it, or come and get it out the house, you know. I scooped it up on a book and took it outside, like whatever. It sounds small, but it means something because you're mastering the vibration of fear. So that could be one thing. Are you coming from a place of ego, or are you coming from your heart? And this is something, before I do live videos, this is something that I ask myself. I don't know where other people are, but for me, I don't want my egoic self to be the self that is coming before you to share the growth that my soul is teaching me and experience in my spiritual awakening. I don't want it. And there are a lot of very egoic spiritual teachers. Let's just keep it real. You know, it's a part of the collective. It is something that we're all having to work on together, you know. And whether you are feeding into that energy and being not trusting yourself, or not even trying to connect with self, and you're just following along with other spiritual teachers, you're part of the problem too. So no matter which side of the coin you're on for this, this is an aspect of the collective that must be addressed so that we can go forward. So just the humility of being in your heart. So this means that there are times where you're going to put yourself in situations where you could be rejected and you could get your feelings hurt. You know, when you're in your heart, you begin to guard yourself less because you don't feel that you need to. You know, you're not trying to micromanage everybody's interactions with you all the time. That's just too much to carry. You realize that I'm only responsible for myself, and my heart is filled with love, and because of that, I'll be okay no matter how this goes. My heart is just open to the experience. So for some of you, you know, this will be even admitting when you have an ego moment, maybe with your divine partner, your spouse or whatever, or with your kids or a co-worker. You're just like, you know what, girl, I was on some ego shit, or, you know, man, I don't know why I came at you like that. It was inappropriate. I just want to acknowledge it. I didn't have to respond to you that way. It could be a customer service agent that you're talking to, and you went off on them and cussed them out, and you just had a real unspiritual moment real quick, and you catch yourself and you're like, oh, you know what? Hold up. That I apologize. That is not who I am as at the core of my being as a person. Let me say that differently, in a way that is not disrespectful towards you or rude unnecessarily. It may be that could be the situation for you. Okay? For some of you, just to be careful about the bragging. Ladies, especially, I don't know about men, but I can speak for women. When women brag about their man and what he can do and how he make them feel, and there's some women out there where that is a turn on for them, and now they looking at your man a certain kind of way because maybe you just bragged a little too much. It happens. So I don't know if men do that, but I know I've been in situations like that before where he didn't even look good until you made him look good by the stuff you be talking about that he do for you. So you might want to pull back a little bit on that, because you could have somebody that's around you and maybe their intentions aren't as clear and pure as you think them to be, and you're just expressing something and sharing something with them, and you got them looking at your man in a whole other way. I don't know, you know. So you might want to check that. But be careful not to brag. Be careful not to brag, and you know the slick bragging, where you be like, I ain't never had that problem. I sure hate you going through that now. I can't relate. It just, it's a certain energy that it has with it where it's just like, honey, that's your, I ain't never had that. That's a form of bragging too. Where you like, you by yourself on that one, honey. I can't relate. I ain't never had nobody cheat on me. Whatever it is, it could be like a braggadocious energy. So it may not be what you saying, but it might be the energy that you putting out. Like all of that comes from low self-esteem, being insecure, not being confident, not being sure of yourself, not feeling connected and grounded in yourself, and just not being in your divinity, in your imperfectness. That comes from being disconnected from that. So for some of you, it's that. For some of you, you try too hard and you don't trust the universe and what the universe is doing. And you feel like your web that you weave just has to be so perfect, you know? Um, Sometimes you just need to trust the universe. Um, just to share a quick story, it's funny that I'm reading all this because we had a spider climb on our bedroom window this spring, and it stayed there to the winter time. We moved it a few times, and then it created a huge web. I mean, a really big spider. I know some of y'all probably remember, but I sat and watched this spider every day for months. And there were days where it would rain and the spider would rock the web to knock the drops of rain off of it, and it was tripping me out because it would do it and then more rain would get on and it got to do it again. And I mean, I would just be frustrated as hell. And I was sitting there, I was like, really, the rain is so beautiful on your web, but you're so programmed to throw the rain off the web, and so you're all this excess effort, you know. But if you could see the beauty and the raindrops on your web, it would require less effort, you know. This is me having a conversation with the spider. I mean, that's why the spider showed up. So yeah, you don't have to try so hard, because maybe what the universe is doing is that rain on the web, is that beauty, is that beautiful situation that is going to allow different prisms of light, different manifestation and new experiences. And they may not all be experiences that feel good to you. You know, some of those experiences could be scary, and some of those experiences could make you angry. But it's just like at some point we have to surrender to life and be like, it's okay. It's okay that everything don't always go the way I want it to. It is like just being open and welcoming to the universe. The universe is going to welcome you back. So for some of us, we have not gained an entrance into a more beautiful, higher potential of our life because we're so closed off. We're so in control, want to micromanage every aspect of everything. We don't allow people to feel how they want to feel. We're only comfortable when people feel how we want them to feel. We're only comfortable when our kids feel and react and do what we want them to do. We're only comfortable when our spouses feel, making us feel or be exactly how we want them to be. That's the only time we're comfortable, and that's the only time we're open to life. You know, is when everything is how I want it to be. Then I'll be open. When I have all the money that I want to have, then I'll help others. And it's like, you know what? I can make some sandwiches and give them to some of the homeless people. I would like one day to be able to donate $200,000 to this or to that. I'm not there yet, but I can make some sandwiches. I can pass out some bottled waters to some of the homeless people on the way to home from work. So this is just you finding ways to allow your higher self to meet you where you are and create something beautiful from it. But sometimes it does require what seems like negative situations to manifest in our lives to experience a new experience, you know? So yes, the universe will open itself to you. Let's see. I saw something in the comments. Wow, y'all got a lot of black spiders, Sacred Moon Goddess. Yeah. Duke said, I love the spiders. I feel you. I wasn't a big fan either until I had this one hang around my bedroom for all that time. I definitely grew fond of their nature and a lot of the lessons from them. Mm. Let's see. Yeah, to catch and release. That's just, you know, a really good, simple way to overcome some fear. This is funny. I was talking about being sorry for killing bugs today. Sook night, that's cool. I love synchronicities like that. You know, it just show you how connected we really are to a web of energy. My daughter thought she was picking up hairballs, and she picked up a black spider. She's still shaking. Oh God, sacred moon goddess, that is hilarious. I've done that before. I've done that before. I thought it was hair laying on the bed and it was a spider. I've done it. It's amazing how something so small can evoke so much shookness in us. Mm. Damn, Malu. You survived picking up a brown recluse like that. That you deserve applause for that one. Your fresh flesh crawls thinking about it, and I would have freaked out. Yeah, yeah. Mm. But again, this is just being open to life, and you know, it happens. So for some of you, you may receive recognition from something that you deserve. Okay, that card also points to it's time to be the real you, and I think that's for a lot of us. 2021 is the year of you being you. I've been saying this all day. 2021 is the year of you being you. What does that mean to you? How can you be more you than you have been in the past? You know, being you requires authenticity. It requires, I don't have to control the way people perceive me. Being you requires, okay, I'm gonna just be honest, let everybody know I'm really pansexual or whatever it is. You know, I don't know. I just need to liberate myself. I don't know. Being me may mean, you know, mean coming out of the witch closet, out of the broom closet, you know, and somebody comes over and you don't have the fact that you did a sweetening spell for your life. You got cinnamon and sugar and candles and honey, you know, sitting up on the, you know, on your altar. Maybe you usually put it up and you're like, I'm not gonna put it up. Oh well, being you may be that. How can you be more of you, the inner you, not the outer you, not the false self, not the you that we use to, you know, experience the matrix? How can you bring a little bit more of that internal you? Because your ass must be weird that you watching me. You must be unique and peculiar because you're watching me right now. Yeah. Do people know that you watch me? Do people know that you resonate with spiritual people who are not following tradition? Maybe people who may seem a little weird, a little crazy, a little out there. People who watch the children's movie, The Nut Job 2, and make a whole video decoding how that connects to what's going on right now with the bombing in Nashville. I mean, that's to some people that's a little weird, you know. So how could you bring more of you to the world? 2021 would be the year of you. I have not did any numerology on 2021 or anything, but I'm sure whatever comes to me after this will confirm what I'm saying, that this year is about you mastering the art of being you. And yeah, that feels good to me. Yeah, so be the real you. Weave your life constructively, okay? And this could also mean that you have some choices that it's time for you to make. You've been sitting on the fence for a while. You need to go ahead and make a choice and start moving into the direction of whatever is going to manifest this particular choice. So this could be why this card showed up for you. Okay, now the archetypal, this is Arachne, and a little information on the mythology of this goddess. She's an exhibitionist of Greek origin. Arachne was most gifted weaver who challenged the goddess Athena. Talent she had, but her attitude left much to be desired. Realizing this, Arachne took her own life in shame. Athena brought her back as a spider so Arachne could do what she truly loved, which was to weave forevermore. This is the mythology. It's time to transmute shame. Yeah. It's time to transmute shame, to catch and release it. Yes, my little, to catch and release it. All that you have felt like made you less than and unworthy, it is time that we release those things. So as you are coming to awareness and saying, you know, okay, this is the web that I weave. I'm in a relationship with somebody who I don't feel like see me, but to be honest with you, that's where I was at the time, and that's just a reflection of that. I accept it. Whatever it is, the acceptance, you know, comes first. And then once you've accepted it, you can begin experiencing the growth that you're supposed to have from the experience. So yeah, that's what I feel a lot of us are going to be led and feel the pressure to do. Let's see. I love creeping people out with my wish talk. That's true. Mm. Mm. Sunshine 4504 says, how to release fear and anxiety. After my brother died 4 years ago, I've become a hypochondriac and it causes more fear. Shan 504, it's very interesting that you mentioned that, which is another shadow aspect that I feel like we're having to deal with on a collective level and heal, which is the way that we allow death to impact us. So I can relate to you because I lost my baby sister, and it's been 5 years. It's been 5 years since I lost her. And it, because of the way I lost her, because of the way lupus was having an impact on her body, it kind of did send me into being overly conscious and being a hypochondriac about my own health. And I had to realize that I know that spirit never ceases to exist, A. B, I am torturing myself, and I don't deserve to be tortured. I deserve to live. C, is this what she would want to witness for me? You know? Am I living in a way that gives honor to the memories and the bond that I shared with her? Is this something that she would be proud of? You know? And from there it was, you know what? I'm just going to acknowledge you whenever I need to acknowledge you. I'm going through my process, and I know that you just simply took on a new form because energy cannot be created or destroyed. And I kind of been treating you, you know, torturing myself and treating you like you left me and hurt me. And it wasn't even, that's very narcissistic about me. It's not even about me. It's about you and your path and your journey. And I acknowledge you and I appreciate you for the time that I had. And I want to continue to appreciate you because love is not bound by time and space. And so maybe you could write them a letter, you know, and express those things with your heart. And if I was you, I would light a white candle, glitter with the candle, fold it up, you know, and slide it right there and just let them know once this candle burns, you know, I know that you have received this message and I appreciate you. And from this moment forward, I'm going to honor myself because that's what you would want me to do, because that's what love does. And once that candle is burned, done. Have a whole new relationship with death. Have a whole new relationship, because love is not bound because we take on a new form. Love doesn't change because we've taken on a new form. But that's the narcissism again in society, where sometimes people grieve longer than they probably organically needed to, because they were self-loathing. They just wouldn't let go of something. They wouldn't surrender and just be allowing to life. And I'm just going to bring love to each moment of life that I can, by bringing my awareness, by bringing compassion. And it is time that we treat death the way the ancients, our ancestors, treated death. Was that it was a very sacred ritual. It was a very sacred ceremony into the higher realms of life. And that's special. That's graduating. That's, for me, one main thing is to not allow death to make me focus on myself and the lack in my life, but to focus on the fact that you don't have to age, you don't have to hurt, you don't have to experience all of the terrible things that we experience in this thing called life. They don't have to have those experiences anymore. And they don't have to suffer. They don't have to worry. That deserves celebration. That And we're going to get to a point where we're going to go to funerals and we're not going to cry, but we're going to just be filled with love and appreciation and just so thankful for the experience that was had. And we're going to laugh and tell funny stories and jokes and, and it just be such a beautiful experience. Like, as we are evolving humanity and as we are healing these parts of ourselves. So to some people it may, some people may be like, oh my gosh, you're so detached and you're cold. But it's like, no, I don't need to torture myself. That's not what they would want. No matter what happened. Even if, let's just say, because I had a best friend that died, and right before she died, we had a huge argument. That was the very last conversation we had with each other. I felt horrible about that. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't let it go. I could not let it go. And I had to realize that I was on some sadistic shit. I had to just admit to it, that I felt like I needed to torture myself, because in a sick, twisted way, this is me giving honor to the fact that I had an argument with you and that was the last thing that happened, so I'm going to torture and punish myself. It was self-condemnation. And that's just that our love was bigger than the argument. So it's okay that was the very last conversation that we had. That doesn't negate the love that we have. And I wrote a letter to her and was like, I love you. I burned it, right before the candle burned down. I burned the letter. And when the candle went out, I was done. But I communicated everything that I needed to say while the flame was going. And the energy of the element of fire would carry that message for you to the other realms. Let's see, what else we got in here? Sacred Moon Goddess, I see you talking about being selfish. It's definitely necessary to be selfish sometimes. That is a very accurate statement. You want to come out the broom closet, but it will kill my ailing father who's a preacher. Oh my goodness. I can relate. I understand. My dad was a Sunday school teacher for a very long time. And when I started really practicing my practices, of course, my house reflected that. And I hid it for a little while, and then I stopped hiding it. And one day I just sat him down and told him. His reaction was what I expected. He didn't approve. He felt like maybe that I was dancing with the devil kind of thing. But the way that I handled it was, one thing that we both agree on is that our love for each other is bigger than our differences. Can you agree on that, Dad? He didn't want to, but the truth is the truth. Yes, it is. Love is supposed to be bigger than differences. And so I said to him, I don't know if this helps, but as long as you see me growing and you witness me being the loving person that I've always been, you know, being the smart, intelligent person I've always been, until you see me stray away from those things, you know, you don't have to worry, but read me by my fruits, you know, read me by my fruits and not my beliefs. And that is one way that you could deal with it. And over time, my dad was like, you know, I actually see the same beautiful, wise person that I've always known you to be. And I don't know why I'm confused, because I thought the stuff that you was doing with, you know, you was on the dark side and messing with magic and all the stuff God told us to stay away from. But I still feel a resonance of love from you when I talk to you, and I just have to, I can't argue with that. Your character speaks for itself. So that's, you know, another potential. Or if what resonates more with you is that he's just not ready to hear it, then it's okay. You know, you can still be your authentic self, without being fully transparent with someone, because sometimes your path is just for you and they don't need to know. And that is you being authentic to yourself and just having that self-validation where I don't need anybody to know anything, nor do I need them. You know, I'm not hoping for approval. It doesn't matter if there's rejection. I don't even have to open that can of worms at all and have that conversation, because I'm just joyful for my spiritual experience that I'm having, you know? So that could be authenticity as well. But see what resonates with you the most. Let's see. Dark blessings, Nefertari. Yes, sis. Dark blessings. Ain't it beautiful to be able to experience dark blessings? Like, yeah, it's just like blessings from just straight divine feminine energy, you know? And I'm going to help you deal with these demons and maneuver through these shadows. Sending you so much love and positive energy. You can do it. Yep, that's right. Sacred Moon Goddess, let go of what no longer serves you for your highest good. We love you too, witches. You know, like bitches. But I don't know. I just wanted to say that. I'm glad you were able to overcome the oracle. I have, you're SC as well, so I understand how easy it was for you to slip into that space. Yep, that's right, Sacred Moon Goddess. That is so true. Follow your, you know, you gotta follow those spiritual impulses when you have them. It's so important, or life will force you to do it. You know, it's like either you surrender and you do it, or you're gonna be forced to do it. It's just that simple. Once you awaken, you're awakening, you know. Techniques to strengthen imagination. That's good. Visualization. That is really, really good. If you have children, playing with your children, which sometimes seems like more of a headache than anything, I ain't gonna lie, because I deal with that and I have that experience. But I set aside playtime to play with her, even if I don't feel like it. I might be in the middle of going over some bills or some business stuff, and I get overwhelmed, and I'll be like, you know what, let's have some playtime. We make potions together. We make slime together. Sometimes we'll just play imaginary, just whatever we got, or maybe we'll draw pictures. And I'll tell a funny story as I'm drawing a picture, and the car run over the tree, and then the bird hop in the car and drive the car and drive into the lake, and I draw a little lake. You know, I'm drawing a story, just something where I'm putting creativity and connecting emotion with that. A really, really simple exercise for cultivating imagination. Just remembering when you were a kid and the stuff that you liked to do when you were a kid. So let's just say when I was a kid, I loved to like walk in the woods, and I would be in the woods and just talking to the birds and talking to the trees and telling the leaves how pretty they were. And you know, it was so fun. I would catch frogs, whatever, just sitting and watching ant hills, like reconnecting with your inner child. So doing something you like to do. Maybe you like to use Play-Doh and mold things with your hands when you were a child. Doing that, that's going to cultivate imagination. You know, visualizing, listening to guided visualizations, especially like those that aren't that long, where you don't have to hold your attention really long. So maybe like 10 minutes or 15-minute visualization. One other thing that I do is, like, if I'm watching a movie, like a Marvel movie or X-Men or something, and they have powers, and I may see them move something with their mind or something like that, and I'll see the way it's shown in the movie. So then when I have a real life experience and I feel like I need mind strength to just push like negative thoughts or whatever like out the way, I'll just remember that scene and just put myself in it, and like just, you know, visualize the like sound waves moving through the air, rippling, and this is me pushing away these critical voices that I do not identify as being me. It's just a thought, and I'm going to push it away and let it pass by. It was just a thought that I don't need to continue to think. Sound waves in the air pushing it away. That's something that you can do, and watching movies really helps. And just make a mental note of it and be like, the next time I have to deal with, you know, da da da, I'm gonna visualize this scene. Another good thing that helps a day-to-day practice is it's not always what you see. So you may not, when I first started visualizing, I couldn't see color. And they would say, visualize a golden light, and I couldn't see it. And I'm like, well, damn, how am I gonna do the visualization, the meditation, and I can't visualize what they're saying? I cannot see it. So I had to learn and cultivate the feeling. What would golden light feel like? It would feel warm. So I was just focused on the feeling and feeling warm and just feeling heat move through my body, and so sometimes you connect with the feeling and not necessarily having something that you see with your inner eye. So releasing judgment is definitely going to be very important to cultivate your imagination. Writing spells or mantras or affirmations to yourself, it helps to expand yourself, and it also helps you to connect with parts of yourself too. So, you know, make it rhyme the best you can. Don't judge it. It might come out sounding like a poem that you wrote in the 2nd grade. It's cool. You might couldn't think of nothing but dog and frog to make it rhyme, and fog. Okay, it's cool. Work with it, you know? And you can be really creative. You could take that and turn it into something beautiful. You know, that I used to date men who were dogs, but I view them as princes that manifested as frogs. Now my prince shall manifest in my life. From the fog will unfold everything that is of light. I just made that shit up. I took 3 words that rhyme and made it up. So practicing doing things that just make you have to expand and stretch your imagination and really like press in for it. So that's something that you can do too. Yeah, I got some good questions. Real good questions. You've been feeling it for 2 years. Well, Sacred Moon Goddess, you keep following your gut instinct. That's so important. That's right. That's right. Look, sometimes putting yourself first is harder than existing in your situation, whatever you are in. So if you're in a situation you know is not good for you or your children or both or whatever, and you don't make a decision or even attempt to move in a direction that you know you need to go in, you have to ask yourself why. Like, am I not moving because I'm afraid of uncertainty? You know, am I not moving because I'm afraid that what comes after this may not be better? But just think about it. If we approach everything from that aspect, we would never do anything different, which means we'll never get a different outcome. So yeah, that's beautiful that you were able to do that. I know when I decided to be done with my ex, it was the best day of my life. It took me a long time to get to that point, but when I got there and acknowledged that that was gonna be the, like, for the best, I was like, I'm just fully invested in myself. I am fully devoted. That was the beginning of my self-love journey. I'm just like, sometimes we don't have the strength to walk away from toxic things, but you can still pray or meditate on the toxic things being removed from you and dissolving. If you like mysticism, the more spiritual, metaphysical way of doing things, you could work with Kali Ma and or Oya. These goddesses, these feminine energies come to just destroy everything that is keeping us from reaching our highest potential. And so growth growth happens when we practice the art of letting go. But a lot of us delay growth because we're trying to hold on to things the way that they are. And just imagine if roots to plants tried to hold on to whatever level it was under the soil, like it wouldn't be able to grow up higher because it's not allowing its roots to go deeper. And so, yeah, sometimes again, the energy of Kali or the energy of Oya, that's transformation, that's change. And so a lot of us, you get in a space that feels really, really bad for you because it's somewhere you desire to be, but you won't honor yourself enough because of fear of what may or may not happen. You refuse to do anything to move you in that direction. Or you refuse to just surrender and say, universe, I don't have the strength to do it. I will make the decision today by acknowledging that this is not for this. It's not serving me. This is not serving me. This is not for my best, and I surrender. I surrender. I'm not going to try to make it work. I surrender. It's okay. It is what it is. But I'm not going to hold on to stuff that is being detrimental to me and not helping me grow. And the universe will do it for you. So, if you're more comfortable with trusting the universe, because I feel like it's a lot of people here that there are things that you want to let go of and you don't know how. And I would say, don't even worry about the outcome. Don't be attached to the outcome. Just start making conscious motion into the direction that you desire to go in. So an example of this would be if you are in a relationship where you feel like your partner doesn't validate you, you just began validating yourself and being responsible for the devotion to yourself to do it. And by you doing that, you change your vibrational frequency. And if that person just refuses to allow themselves to be attuned by this change in frequency, then naturally the two are going to just drift apart, you know? Or maybe you master this self-validation and you're like, we can stay together. I'm not even offended by the fact that they don't validate me because I'm so validated, I'm good. Now, he's good at this or she's good at that, and that. I appreciate that. That is good enough. It could be that too. But we are moving into a time where the focus, 2021, is the year of you, So last year we realized that we was Neo in the Matrix. We began to see things unfold. The year just went mayhem. I mean, it went, 2020 was it was something else. And we on the other side of it, like, we got this. We got this. We went through our galactic timeout, and we got this. We got it. Let's see. Any tips on strengthening your clairvoyance? Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Tree ignited amazingly. Peace to you. I didn't see you in here when I first got on. Yes, what's up, Knee Relief Chronicle? I see you in here too. Yes, strengthening clairvoyance. The way that I have been cultivating my ability to be clairvoyant is divination for myself. I try to do it every day. Let's just say you don't have some tarot cards, or let's just say you're not at home and you don't have time, or okay, a form of divination in that moment could be staring at the clouds and just saying if this cloud is has a form to you that is taken on, and then whatever that form is, asking yourself what could that possibly mean for me. So you can do divination at any point in time with anything. You could just be sipping some broth from your soup and just see paying attention to how the noodles laying in a bowl, and like, what does this look like something to me, or does this mean something to me? You know, you can use anything really, because the spiritual current, it moves through everything, right? So you can use anything. You could ask for a sign on your path, and this is going to strengthen your clairvoyance as well, because you're interpreting signs and symbols and synchronicities that are manifesting from the unseen realm, and then you're connecting and saying, what does that connect to for you? What does that mean for you? So this is something that you can do that is kind of like helping your spiritual journey and also strengthening your clairvoyance. Um, Strengthening the trust that you have with yourself for what you feel, not ignoring what you feel. You know how you have that gut feeling and you don't listen to it? That's ignoring what you feel. You know how you know that you should be resting, but you feel like you should be resting, but your mind is telling you, no, you need to be working right now, or you need to be writing your book right now, but your body and what it you're feeling is like, rest, and then you can get back to that later. What you choose is going to determine your connection with self, which is going to determine your level of clairvoyance as well. um and I like to stare into flames too, and just see what this flame is making me feel. That helps to strengthen my clairvoyance. But let me give you a warning. Like the lucid, I don't even know if I have any left, but the lucid dreaming potion, Let's Get Lucid, like it strengthens clairvoyance a whole lot because it activates the third eye. But let me warn you and tell you, like, stronger clairvoyance, this is for all of y'all. The stronger spiritual gifts, we're coming into that, but there is going to be more accountability and responsibility that comes with that. So you're going to have to be able to see something in somebody and not say anything, and not act like you saw what you just saw in them. You're going to have to be able to see the ugly in yourself and accept it and offer love to that moment. So strengthening the clairvoyance and strengthening the third eye and any of the spiritual gifts, it's going to call you to this deeper union and devotion with yourself that may sometimes be uncomfortable. And like, I don't like to see, sometimes I see little girls at the grocery store and their daddy is molesting them. I got to be able to deal with the emotion of me being able to see that and feeling powerless in that moment, being able to do nothing about it, being frustrated as to, well, why was I even shown that and I can't do anything about it, you know? Just be willing to accept what comes with the gift. So that gift may also be that you see the path ahead of your children, but they're not listening to you, and in slow motion, you have to witness them go down this path that you knew was going to need to lead to a negative space. And you have to still be loving, patient, supportive, nurturing, non-judgmental. You see? So to much is given, much is required. And I think that's the blockage for a lot of people, is they have not yet accepted the level of accountability, because maybe you struggle with being accountable for the shit that your shadow self say and do. Like when you get an attitude and you didn't have to, and when you say shit, low blows and conversations and arguments, and it just was way lower than you had to go. That shit, when we do that shit, or the boasting, or the whatever it is, those shadow aspects, you got to be able to see it, You know what I'm saying? Or your clairvoyance is just going to lead to pride and arrogance. Yeah. So, okay. Let's see. I'm going to stay on here for about 5 more minutes with y'all because we got to get little mama ready for bed. Oh, that's good, Nate. You delving into your shadow work. Yeah. It's so important. It's something, it's so important that I try to do it every day. Every day I try to face a shadow aspect of myself or to someone else, or just learn something new about myself, or create ways to be whole and integrated, even though I've realized this part of me that I don't like. Being able to still be self-validated and love myself and affirm myself, even though I'm dealing with this thing that I don't like. So yeah, I try to do that every day. Peace, Goddess KK. Do shrooms and stare at the clouds. That sounds fun as fuck. Yeah, literally. Journey through. Charles Evans, UK. On my journey through the halls of a mentee. Man, that's powerful. Bronze Flat Power King. Peace. Widow Gang. I see you. Yeah, that's very powerful. Sacred Moon Goddess, I think I do have a couple left. Once they run out, we'll probably just list them as sold out on the website. So I think we do have a couple left. There are times where people may need a particular potion that we don't have any more of, and as long as I can get the items, I will make one, per that request for that order. So if that happens, or if we run out of something, just message me at remnantsgathering.com and let me know. And yeah, and I'll make sure that I take the time to do that. Making potions is like, I don't know, it's one of those things where you have to be so in tune, have a very clear intention and focus, whole within yourself. Mind cannot be scrambled, at peace, working with certain planetary alignment or with the moon, or a certain energy because of the astrological positioning as it relates to you, so that you're able to be that beacon to channel that energy of herbs and crystals and whatever different things being used for the potion. So it's really a magical ass process. I don't know if everybody do their stuff like that, but a potion, that's how it should be created. So yeah, and it's just it's magical, like it's magical as fuck. And so it was something that was laborsome for me. I was just like, that's just too much work. And but it's something I have grown to have a very deep appreciation for, because I don't know, it's just it was, I don't know, it's beautiful that I have this gift that I'm able to use to help other souls on this planet awakening. I'm so thankful. I actually have some new stuff in, and I don't know what kind of potion to make. So it's listening to like, what do people need? So if y'all got some ideas, like we have a root chakra potion, which can be used for anything for root chakra imbalances. We have an abundance potion, and we have the third eye potion. And the stuff that's put in there is like, it ain't no 2-3 ingredients type shit, it's energetic ingredients. The time, again, me being clear, so my diet has to be clean. Like, I'm not eating no bullshit. I know some people are like, well, you ain't got to do all that to make a potion, but that's just the level of integrity that I hold myself to when I make potions. And my mind needs to be clear, my heart needs to be pure. So if y'all have an idea, because I have like these new crystals. Oh, and we got some citrine crystals in. I got these really, it's like citrine crystal glitter. Or something, citrine crystal confetti, that's about the size that it is. So I don't know what kind of potion to make. I've been telling Ernest, like, I'm gonna make a potion, but I don't know what people really need right now. Love potion, that's great, I could do another abundance potion. I even thought about just connecting with the energy of Oshun, and just that strong love energy, and that strong energy of fertility, and the energy of abundance, and just connecting more like within the Orisha pantheon, That was the idea. So I don't know. I can just do this based on what you all tell me that you think we need. Yeah, so just send me a message or comment below this video and like, this is the potion that I think, and let's see who get the most likes or shades, you know, agree with it, and I'll go through it, and the next potion that I add to it. So I will continue to make the others, but I'm ready to add something new, but I want to make sure that I'm connecting with the collective and something that will help, a lot of us. But all right, y'all. Well, thank you for getting on here with me for this Dark Goddess reading. If you missed some of it, because I see it's way more people in here than it was at first, that's okay. Just go back and rewatch it. The timing is divine because your attention and your energy is in it in that moment. So that's okay. Thank y'all so much for y'all love, y'all support. The webinar, shadow work webinar, like these are precursors to the things we'll be dealing with. We really want to be able to go deep. We really want to be able to connect with the roots of the issues in our lives. We really want to be able to give you all an experience where there's a practical application for you to get an actual impact, for you to see real impact. So the next webinar, we put so much thought into this and just so much of who we are and from our everyday experiences into this, and just trial and error and working certain spiritual workings and seeing what is most effective, what the time is calling for. So yeah, we're going to be posting the flyer for that very soon. I'm saying it so Ernest, he in the background, make sure that we all gonna be holding me accountable for saying it, so we go do it. And yeah, you kind of know what to expect, because again, darkness is where transformation happens. And if you have any discomfort about shadows and darkness and monsters and demons, this is a great time to begin releasing that and working through that, because we're not just made of light, and most of the universe is made of dark matter, and this is part of the awakening, and this is the time to deal with the darkness, because the darkness is beautiful, and it's where the strength comes from. And the light has blinded us. A lot of us have been in too much light, and it has caused our spiritual vision to not be as clear. And being in the darkness, yeah, you get a chance to come out with a fresh perspective, because you've been reset and you've been humbled by your darkness, and you've just been called to a place of just experiencing more integration and wholeness by doing shadow work. So it's so important, and it's going to help you heal codependency, and it's going to help you heal from feeling unworthy of giving yourself the best, and it's going to help you to feel it's okay to be selfish sometimes. Like, that's some real spiritual shit right there. We need that. And as a collective, as a society, we have not been allowed to really do shadow work on a collective level. So this won't be just you doing shadow work on your path, but it's going to be a tribe of people that are doing shadow work as well. And by doing that, we will help to bring balance into anchoring the new earth, where we will be more integrated with shadow aspects, and there will be less judgment, less shame, and less guilt, more acceptance. So, all right. So thank y'all so much. We love y'all, and I'm gonna ease off here and get to my responsibilities now. my motherly, wifely responsibilities. And peace and love to you. And y'all already know what we're finna say. I know y'all, a lot of y'all is day ones up in here, so y'all already know what's coming, right? Man, your third eye has just been kissed. Peace.